Welcome to the Survive, Scale, Soar podcast. Hear and learn through the success of others how to build the life and business you deserve. Learn to overcome failure, what it means to seek out growth, and how to become the best possible version of yourself. And now, here's your host, coach, entrepreneur, husband and father, and author of the #1 best-selling book, Survive, Scale, Soar, Jeremy Williams.
And welcome back to the Survive, Scale, Soar podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy, and this show comes in two formats. There's real talks where I spend time, it's just me and the mic, sharing my thoughts and opinions on what's happening in this world and how that might impact your business. And then there's success talks, and it's my opportunity to interview some of the best people in their industry, best people in their field, and asking them what has made them successful over time. And speaking of success talks, I've got a great show next week with Jason Hoyt. He's the president of BYX, Brothers Under Christ, Beta Upsilon Chi, a men's Christian fraternity on campuses all across the country. And we're going to have a great conversation on the organization, what it's doing, how it's impacting men and developing the leaders of tomorrow, and talk a little bit about how COVID had impacted their organization. So there's going to be some great information in there, and make sure you tune in, subscribe to the Survive, Scale, Soar podcast so you get notified when that episode drops. Today is Real Talk, and I want to share a little bit of my perspective on coaching and maybe where some of the broker owners of these different offices may be making a big mistake. And it goes back to COVID. So before COVID, everybody would go into the office. You would have team meetings, and there'd be music, and people are excited, and everybody would be there. And COVID hit. And unfortunately, a lot of these companies, they still were able to operate, yet they had to close down their buildings, their brick and mortar. And when it came back, when people were starting to go back into the office, it changed. I was in a brokerage office not too long ago, and just walking through it, noticed there was hardly anybody there. And this was like in the middle of the day, where 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it would have been a thriving place. People would be talking. There'd be water cooler talk. There'd be people sharing about their listings and what's going on. There's just a lot of activity, and that's gone away. I see some organizations out there that are attempting to bring that back, and at some level they are, yet the industry is changing. And I think it's not just in real estate. I think it's in all things. We're seeing a lot more reliance on things that allow us to come together virtually. There's a lot of people that work out of their home now. That's my wife. She works out of the home 3 days a week and 2 days a week in the office. It's a flex plan. And I think they know that because it's hard to recruit now to organizations that don't have some sort of plan like that. And so with coaching, I get this a lot, and I've talked to several brokerages over the years. I knew this was coming. I think COVID definitely enhanced it and moved it along faster, is that more and more things in regards to work will become virtual or leveraged. And so I talked to these brokerages, and both independents, the big boxes, and I know they have coaching opportunities available. They're looking for a coach. And so I go to them and I say, look, I'm not going to join your organization, yet I'll coach as a third party, and we can do it virtually, and I can set up groups because that's what they were going to offer anyway, was group coaching. And they were like, well, we like that, but we want you here inside the building. We want that personal touch. And even before COVID, in that format of coaching at the office, it was very difficult to get people to come in person for a 30, 45-minute coaching session because of their distance from the office. Some people were making drives of an hour and a half when I was doing in-office coaching. And over time, you just saw them stop showing up. They were not going to make that trip to come down for that and then turn around and drive back. That would take over half their day. And what am I sitting there coaching them about? Leverage, going out and lead generating, being efficient with their time. Yet the way that the coaching program was set up, it didn't allude to any of that. It actually took them away from being able to do those things. So I've gone to these offices and said, look, I'll offer coaching. I'll put a proposal together to group coach. And they're just stuck in this mindset of what I'll call pre-COVID days. And that if we have coaching, if we build it, right, the field of dreams, if we build it here, they will come. And I just don't think that's the case anymore. And I don't think it's very smart to have those thoughts that people are going to come back. It's just going to be like it always has been. I think it's going to progress more and more to these virtual and flex type settings for whether it be coaching in real estate or any type of business. You're going to see this happening more and more and more. The genie is out of the box. The technology is available. I was having a conversation with a team lead yesterday, and they were going to have team meetings, and then they were going to have training days. And I said, make one of them in person so you can come together, and make one of them virtual. We all jump on a Zoom call and we have our team meeting. So the one that you believe has more value, have that one in person, and the other one that may have less value, do that one virtually so they don't have to drive into the office for that meeting. And really thinking about it, both of them could be virtual. And then the thing of value could be just like getting together at a restaurant and having a meal, or going to Topgolf and just hanging out together as a team. So it's happening. And I encourage brokers that are listening to this, broker owners, whether it be big box or independent, obviously you can call me and I'd be honored to have the opportunity to talk with you more about my vision of coaching and what it might look like for your organization. But even if it's not me, you've really got to start thinking about how you're delivering your coaching, your training, your team meetings, everything. You've got to be thinking about, how can I do this to reach the audience that's not going to come in all the time? And that audience is growing. The newer agents, the younger agents that are coming into this industry, they are very aware of the technology. They are looking for companies that would support these type of things, because yes, they want coaching, they want mentorship, they want training. Those are all great things. That doesn't change. That's the value that the broker owner provides to the agent. Yet it's how they receive it is what we need to pay attention to. And so I would go back, if I'm a broker owner and I'm listening to this today, or I'm a business owner, I would go and have conversations maybe with your top individuals. I would go poll maybe a group of prospective agents that would fit a group coaching program. And I would just say, look, if this is something that we'd offer, what would you think about it? Would this be more beneficial? Would it be more efficient? Getting the information, being coached, having it virtual versus having to make the drive in to come to the coaching program? And I think you're going to find some answers. We've got to get out of the mindset of, well, it's always been this way, and so we're going to stick to it, right? It's doing that thing over and over and over and getting the same results, which is the definition of insanity. Broker owners need to look at their business and see, how do I have the greatest impact on my people today? And that might be setting up something that's virtual, and also people can come in. So I've seen a few people do this. They'll have team meetings, and they'll have the team meeting in person, and they have somebody there that's shooting the team meeting and streaming it out to the agents that aren't able to come in. I get it. I was a part of organizations that it was very exciting to get 3, 4, 5, 600 people into a room, and we're all, sharing our goals and being together. And I think there's something very human about that. And we need that at times. There's some people that say, oh, I don't need that, Jeremy. I can just go out there and be on my own and be a lone wolf. And that's just not healthy. It's not healthy being a human and being disconnected in that way. But you're going to find people that are looking at these situations and they're going to say, I really wish I could participate in this every week. I'm just not going to make the drive into the office to do that. I'm not going to commit at that level. Yet if you offer it in a way that's virtual or flex, you might get a bigger attendance. You might have a bigger buy-in. So whether or not, if you're thinking about coaching today, and think about having coaching for broker owners. I have clients that are like that. I've got a broker I'm currently working with now that I coach her team once a week, and it's a group format and it's on Zoom, and the calls are powerful. It was amazing that they hadn't had any closings or anything lined up in this last week. I got on and there was every single one of them had a transaction, a new listing taken, a closing that had just happened. And I really truly believe that's through coaching them, helping them, asking them questions, giving them the 30,000 foot view to help them through the forest and the trees. So if you would find that beneficial, I would love to talk to you and create a proposal for your business, just to be able to give you an idea of what that might look like and the impacts of that. I mean, think about it for that brokerage. They are, there were 7 people on the call. All of them had something going on. That's a game changer for the broker owner. That's a game changer for the agent. If the agent's making money, guess what? They stay, right? If the broker owner is making money, that's a great thing. You're profitable. And coaching can do that for broker owners. So whether you're an independent or you're a big box and you're considering coaching, I'd be honored to have that opportunity to talk with you about it. Even if it's not me, I'm going to recommend that you maybe look at coaching differently. Look at the way the world is today. Talk to your people, poll them, ask them questions, and so that you can make a great decision as a business owner. And I think what you'll find is this is more of a reality than fiction. And if we go back, 5, 10, 15 years ago, this wouldn't even been a conversation. It'd been this way, and this is how it has to be done. And as a coach, and for my podcast that's going out and reaching all these individuals that are listening in, I think I have an obligation to point out that maybe we need to rethink some things. 2023 is right upon us. We're less than a month away from the new year. It's going to be a year of opportunity. Yes, the market is different, yet there's going to be an opportunity. There are a lot of agents that are getting out of the business. That's okay. They were probably doing 1 or 2 deals a year anyway. It makes more room for those that are being productive and that really treat it as a business. So for broker owners out there, if you need help, reach out. I also coach broker owners. So if you're looking at building your team, pretty good at doing that. I've done it very well over the years. I can help you with that too. So I trust this information gets out there. If you know somebody that needs to hear it, if your broker owner needs to hear it, share this episode with them. And I'd love to have that conversation with them and the opportunity. It'd be an honor. Until next time, onward and upward.
Thank you for listening to the Survive, Scale, Soar podcast. If you heard something that made a difference in your life today, share it with someone that might benefit and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Learn more about the host of this podcast and coaching services offered by Red Hawk Coaching by visiting www.redhawkcoaching.com.